Your voice is a thermometer of your psychological and emotional state. I don't know if you know, but your voice is as unique as your fingerprint. Each person has a unique timbre that differentiates them from others. We can say that our voice is our energetic signature. We heard a lot about finding our true voice. This process is actually interconnected with identifying and connecting with your true self or your inner place of authenticity and clarity. Your true self is not the same of the image you may have about yourself based on external conditioning or what you believe you need to be in order to be accepted. So, finding your true voice is not about just vocal work in a physical sense. It is a psychological and emotional process. I believe that singing and all art forms are ways to express ourselves authentically and a tool for self knowledge, especially in regards to overcoming the fear of singing. Contact with your emotional world and practice of your authentic expression are essential. And in relation to this, I would like to mention that I will launch soon a workshop where I teach exercises and practice to open your singing voice in case of trauma or emotional blocks that includes a section for emotional work. You can sign up for the studio's newsletter to be informed about the launch of the workshop. The link is in the description. Back to our topic. It is interesting to realize that our voices are much more than a larynx, muscles, ligaments, and nervous system. Our voice is our feelings, our unconscious mind, our mood at the moment, our beliefs, our psychic world. It is easy to identify someone's mood by the sound of their voice, and also to identify when the voice does not correspond to the person's characteristics. It may be funny to note, but we tend to vary our voice for each situation. At work, with children, in a romantic relationship, and so on. We can also adapt our voice to social expectations, which may or may not represent our authentic selves. For example, to what are the vocal characteristics socially expected regards to gender, profession, social position, and so on. As an expression of our personality, our voice can express our true selves or our ego image. The voice also reflects the emotional defenses a person develops while growing up. Additionally, vocal characteristics reveals parts of the personality that have not completed development, such as someone who speaks with a child's voice when a situation evokes childhood reaction patterns inside them. This reflects the emotional or developmental state in which the person is stuck. In case of developmental trauma, the impact of chronic stress on the voice can be also perceived. It expresses in correspondence to the nervous system traumatic response. For example, when a person speaks all the time as if they were alarmed, even though it doesn't correspond to the real situation they are in, it reveals the alert condition of their nervous system. Or when someone's voice gives the impression of anger that they are fighting without it being their real intention. It can relate to the fight response, one of the traumatic responses. I explain in more detail the impact of trauma on the voice in this video in the card above, and also share some strategies to help regulate the nervous system and facilitate singing in case of traumatic responses in this other video. I will leave the link for both in the description. I would like to point out another aspect which has to do with suppressing or repressing emotions. For example, in my case, when working with my own voice and doing my inner work, I began to notice the moments when I was angry and the anger did not appear in my voice because I had learned that expressing anger was not correct. This has to do with what is socially acceptable. In this case, the expression of aggressive energy, which is not well seen or expected, especially in the case of women. It has a psychological counterpart of suppressing or repressing feelings, which need to be released to find your balance, keep your health, and be able to express in your true voice. Our voices is our presence in the world. That's the idea of the expression to have a voice. And speaking of the relationship between voice and body, I would like to talk about the difference of an embodied or disembodied voice. An embodied voice is possible when we are grounded, expressing our truth, and feeling safe. That's why it is important to avoid a mechanical approach to work on your voice. Many, unconsciously or not, choose to suppress their feelings and just sing mechanically, relying on techniques that do not consider the emotional aspect of singing. A disembodied voice can eventually perform or achieve a desirable result, but will never have the same impact an embodied voice does. Embodiment conveys authenticity. Being your body gives you resonance and the ability to convey a message that impacts or resonates with other people. I noticed that the fear of singing can be the fear of being in the body. Embodiment is a gift, an essential part of being human. So, working on creating inner safety and embodiment is an act of self love and self care. If you are not just trying to achieve a result or impress someone else, singing is an activity of embodiment in itself. It can be used as a tool for self knowledge and healing. What do you need to align with your true voice? Notice that I said align because it is already inside yourself. To align with your true voice, you need to accept your current state, be willing to see the truth, your limitations, your emotional defenses, and so on. You need to have self love and patience and do your inner work and vocal work. The results will show up and be much more than a better looking voice. It will reveal the beauty of a person in harmony and with a confidence that is really born from the inside. That's my wish for you, for all of us. As I said in the beginning, I will launch soon a workshop with practical tools to facilitate singing in case of trauma or emotional blocks. If you are interested, sign up for the studio's newsletter to be informed about the launch of the workshop. I will leave the link in the description. Like this video if it was useful for you and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.